Have you ever walked through a cemetery and felt like you were being followed? What if the footsteps belonged to a child? In the quiet town of Tanauan, Batangas in the Philippines, there's a cemetery known not just for its history, but for a ghostly figure that appears to the living and vanishes without a trace. He's not angry, he's not violent, he's just lost. They call him the Ghost Boy of Tanauan Cemetery, and this is his story. Tanauan City is a small but historic area in Batangas. Nestled near the town's outskirts lies the Tanauan Public Cemetery, a place that has seen generations of burials dating back to the Spanish colonial era. The cemetery itself is typical: rows of white tombs, narrow footpaths, overgrown grass, and ancient trees casting long shadows. But locals have long believed that the cemetery holds more than just memories. It holds spirits. Caretakers have passed down stories of strange lights at night, sudden cold spots, and ghostly figures walking between the graves. But among all these tales, one stands out, that of a small boy who appears near a particular mausoleum. The earliest known reports of the Ghost Boy date back to the late 1990s. In 1997, a gravedigger named Mang Eladio was working a night shift when he noticed something strange. I saw a little boy playing near the mausoleum. He had no slippers on and looked lost. I called out to him. He didn't even look at me. Then he just disappeared behind a tomb. Eladio searched for him, thinking the child had wandered in by accident. But no one was there. No footprints. No sign anyone had passed through. Then came more stories. Families visiting graves reported seeing a child running between the tombs, only to vanish when approached. Others claimed to hear a soft voice calling, "Mama, Mama," from behind the walls. According to legend and pieced together testimonies, the Ghost Boy is believed to be the spirit of a child named Jomar, who died sometime in the early 1990s. One version of the story says Jomar was the son of a family living near the cemetery. He used to play there often, treating the place like a park. One rainy day, he fell into an open grave that had partially collapsed. By the time anyone found him, it was too late. Another version claims he died of illness and was buried there quietly, but was never properly prayed over. His spirit, they say, still roams, waiting for someone to finish his final rites. Regardless of which version you believe, all agree the boy's spirit has never left. The Photographer's Nightmare, 2006, a local college student named Anna was taking photos for her thesis on Filipino burial traditions. While reviewing her shot, she noticed something odd. There was a boy in one of the photos, standing next to a grave. I swear he wasn't there when I took it. When she zoomed in, she saw the boy was barefoot, dirty, and staring directly at the camera. Eyes blank, mouth slightly open. The photo went viral on local forums, but mysteriously disappeared a year later when her laptop crashed. The Vendor's Tale, 2010. Several vendors who sell candles and flowers near the cemetery gate reported that a small boy often comes asking for candy. He's very polite, said Aling Rosa. He says, "Ate, bili po." But when you turn around to get change, he's gone. Some believe this ghost has learned how to mimic real behavior, making him even more unnerving. The Birthday Vigil, 2018. A woman named Marissa was holding a vigil for her son's birthday. He had died young in an accident. As she lit candles, she noticed a boy sitting nearby. I thought he was a cousin. He was just staring at me. But when I asked him his name, he just smiled and then faded. That night, she dreamt of her son and the same boy playing together under the moonlight. In Filipino culture, child spirits are often seen as ligaw na kaluluwa, lost souls. spirits of children are believed to linger when they die suddenly or tragically. They are buried without proper rites. They have a strong emotional attachment to a place or person. Spiritual leaders say the boy may not even know he's dead. To him, he's still waiting to be picked up, still playing, still calling for his parents. This is why his spirit is not malevolent, but sad. However, they warn that prolonged sightings or conversations with such spirits can lead to spiritual sickness, known as usog, or even possession. Since the 2020s, the Tanauan ghost boy has become a local urban legend. TikTok users post about seeing shadows in their cemetery videos. A viral clip showed a childlike figure darting behind a tomb mid-filming. The uploader, a vlogger named Kelvin, said, "We thought it was a prank, but when we checked the footage frame by frame, the boy's face had no eyes." Locals report that children visiting the cemetery often say they made a new friend, describing someone who matches Jomar's appearance perfectly. Even cemetery workers refuse to stay past sunset. In 2021, a team from a Manila-based paranormal group visited the site. They brought EMF detectors, spirit boxes, and infrared cameras. At exactly 2:43 a.m., the spirit box picked up what sounded like a child whispering, "Nane," followed by what investigators described as a soft sob. Their camera also recorded a blurry figure peeking from behind a headstone, then retreating into the dark. A psychic who joined the team said, "He's still waiting. He doesn't understand why no one comes to get him." They left a toy car and a candle. The next morning, the toy had been moved 5 feet from where it was left. Skeptics say it's all coincidence, tricks of the light, viral hoaxes, or mass suggestion. But they do admit the pattern is too consistent. Too many unrelated people, years apart, describing the same boy, the same look, the same feeling. And then there's the emotional weight. Visitors often leave the cemetery feeling a deep, unexplained sadness. Some have fainted. Others report seeing the boy's face in dreams for weeks. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, something lingers in Tanauan. Priests and healers have attempted blessings, rituals, and even exorcisms. Yet the sightings continue. Some believe the only way for Jomar to move on is for someone to perform his burial, a traditional Filipino wake, complete with prayers, candles, and farewells, but with no one knowing who his family is, who will say goodbye. Until then, he wanders. He sits quietly during vigils. He plays tag with the strangers. He calls out for his mother when the wind gets cold. A child's voice in the silence. A flicker of motion in the corner of your eye. Many ghost hunters now flock to Tanauan Cemetery, hoping to see the ghost boy. But elders in the area always warn the same thing. Don't call out to him, don't talk to him, and whatever you do, don't follow him. They say he sometimes waves at people from behind the tombs, leads them deeper into the cemetery, toward a place that's colder, quieter. One girl who followed a new friend during All Saints' Day was found asleep behind a wall hours later, freezing and unable to remember how she got there. When she was asked what happened, she simply said, "He wanted to show me where he lives." In Tanauan, the dead are remembered, honored, but some are never really gone. They remain behind, not because they're evil, but because they were forgotten. So if you ever visit that cemetery and see a small boy smiling at you, light a candle, say a prayer, and keep walking. Because if you stop, he might think you're the one he's been waiting for. This has been a Truth is Terror original. Subscribe for more terrifying true stories, real hauntings, and the ghosts that history refuses to forget.